between the episodes on Eisenholm. Welcome to the start of our 4th year. After having it pointed out that I accidentally put charcoal in the coke oven last episode, I popped some actual black coal into the oven to test if the chiseled bricks are still functional. I hope they are. Only time will tell though. Then it was down to the mines to gather more slabs of conglomerate for the castle. Collecting a few, I brought them back up to the masonry lodge and made as many bricks as I had mortar for. And chipped off some more polished rock just for good measure. With stone sorted, my next stop was the maple wall, where an unexpected surprise awaited me. It appears as though with the cramped quarters the pigs have been living in, some of them decided to break the laws of physics and phase through the walls to roam the land. Once I'd lured the pigs I could find back into their pen, I kept up the wood cutting, harvesting the kapok, redwoods, and larch. Then I filled in a couple little divots in the land, planted those fruit tree cuttings I had nearly forgotten in the seeds chest, and extended some of the pathways so that we'd have a proper path heading up to the workshop area, as well as some wider and smoother walkways to use while getting around. After a whole lot of landscaping, a solar eclipse graced us with the cover of artificial night, and drift activity took a turn for the dangerous. And so that brings us to today, where we've got visitors outside, but hey, we're starting our 4th year here. We're not gonna let a few drifty boys stamp us, are we? Except we definitely are, because most of the things I want to do involve going outside. So we're just gonna sleep this off. I see they still exist outside. You were there all night, just hanging out at our door. But in any case, let's get on with our day. So there's a couple things I want to do here. I want to plant a couple other tree types here just before we get into the meat and potatoes of what I've got planned for today. So we've got the 2 rows of 32, so a full stack of maple seeds here. We're going to give a little bit of space from that. Don't want the leaves from the tops of these trees getting in the way of a couple other trees we want to plant. So I'm going to take these crimson maples, which are going to have a nice red type of leaf, and I want to give them a little bit of space because these ones, I don't care about the wood, it's just maple. What I want from these are the leaves. Because by using the branch cutter mod to get ourselves a few of their leaves to use for decoration, I have a cunning plan. Though it's a plan that's probably going to be later in the season because these trees have to grow. Unless I go on a big old expedition somewhere. Find more. The larch trees, however, I can just plant a whole bunch of those and that's going to be fine. These ones, I want their wood. Honestly, that's probably going to be more than enough. We'll do a few more just for good measure. Yeah, that should be honestly way more than enough. Okay. Now, what is that little project that I wanted to plant those for, you ask? All will be revealed in time. But in the meantime, we are going to clear out this inventory here, because it's looking a little cluttered. And we're going to get on to the meat of the episode here, because I've got some work to do on ye old castle. Where the more I've thought about it, the more it's occurred to me, the castle doesn't have a name yet. That's going to have to change before we finish it. Can't have a castle without a name? Wouldn't be proper. And while I could give it something simple like Castle Eisenholm or something like that, no. It needs its own special name. A fancy name. Pop this coal away. Speaking of coal, the coke ovens. At the end of last episode, I accidentally put charcoal into the coke oven, and you can't make coke out of that. Brown coal and black coal, just those two. So of course, it all burnt up. Now for this one here that I did put black coal in, I got a comment about how somebody recreated these coke ovens here and tried it, and all it did was burn up all of their black coal. So let's take a look. Uh-oh. All right. So, note to self, you cannot chisel coke ovens anymore. That's either I misinterpreted the video that I had watched a long time ago, or it changed. either scenario is equally probable. But in any case, that does mean that this wall, and by extension, theoretically, part of this one will have to change ever so slightly. Or I could just cut this down to 2 of them and push them back a little ways. I probably don't need 3 coke ovens. It would save me having to make another hatch door. Well, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But for the moment, let's get to doing a little bit of castle work, because we've neglected that for a little bit. Spent the entire winter inside. It's sunny time. Time to do sunny work. I'm gonna take both these saws, the not so great looking one and the fresh one, and we're gonna process a lot of this maple. I have a feeling I might have put a bit of maple in the masonry lodge for some reason. So let's just double check that, and then we're going to put more of those walkways onto the castle walls. Maybe get to a little bit of detailing as well. Ooh, I've got planks. I've got a lot of planks. If I've had all these planks just sitting here, why haven't I done this already? Well, to be fair, I do have a whole bunch of different projects on the go. So, you know, a couple things will slip through the cracks here and there. I probably meant to do this a while back. But we're doing it now. So I'm just gonna go until I got no more maple left. And then we can grab some of those polished blocks from earlier. Because while the bases for the walls are mostly in place, the detail work, especially the gaping hole behind me. And that's right. Soon, the castle will fly no more. It'll be grounded, secure, stable. That's where horses live. Okay, let's get into the time lapse then. Okay, so for the most part, we've got our wooden walkways pretty much all in place for the outer wall. Well, at least until the western gatehouse. So before we get on to the next bit, let's go check on the steel. So it's probably about due for another load of fuel. Now we've got walkways going all the way there. This is great. Don't have to jump or anything. How are we looking? Out of fuel. 77? We're getting there. And light these up. And off we go to our next step. It's a little too dark at the moment, though, to do the next bit of the castle. Won't be able to see much, so let's try and get these pigs inside before they give birth. Go on in. Go inside. Go inside. No, don't you come out. No, don't come out. Go back into confinement. I know it's cramped in there, but just deal, okay? Just deal. It's gonna... You win this round. Do I have any horsetail? Oh, I have plenty of horsetail. That's marginally better. Well, since I want to go over the next part of the walls in the light of day, so I can actually show you what I'm doing, I think I'm going to spend the rest of this calm, rainy, stormy night cutting down the forest. Maybe carve a path right out to the water. Oh boy, here I go deforesting again. There we go. now we have a pretty clear path between the castle and the water. Excellent. And the sun's starting to come up, so let's get all this wood put away and get ourselves ready for a little bit more decorum for the walls. Soon enough, the castle shall float no more. It'll be firmly anchored to the ground, the way physics intended. Okay, so we're gonna want a bunch of these polished blocks. Let's just take a whole bunch and a lot of bricks. And we are not gonna want to forget pantograph, a chisel, and of course the hammer. Where's my hand planer? Did I burn through it working through the workshop? Probably. Very likely. For what I'm going to be using it for, technically I could get away with a hand wedge because I'm just going to be pushing blocks in, but the planer's going to be a lot better in case I shave off one too many layers on a block. My planer's not there. Okay. Well then, let's grab ourselves a singular piece of coal, and we're going to make ourselves another hand planer because we're going to want one for all of the chiseling we've got in store. I really need to get a quenching station in here at some point. That'll be one of the next steps on the to-do list once I get back to working on the workshop. But right now, it's outside time. To a beautifully rainy, dull, dreary day. You need to go back inside. Alright, round two. Round two before I go and do this thing. Aha! Victory! Just use this little pond here to my advantage. Okay. So, we're going to start off somewhere a little bit closer to the ground, just so I can give you a good demonstration of what kind of repeating pattern we're going to be using. So, these bits here, right now they're only 1 voxel thick, so I'm going to pull these out to 2. And these guys here are going to get chiseled on right down to being 2 out from that, and it's just going to repeat all the way until the ground. I suppose I'll need to be down on the ground for some of this. Oh, you shouldn't be here, it's calm. Oh well, we'll see how long it takes for that one to become a problem. There we go. So this subtly jutting out pattern is going to repeat on every single column of these bricks that go in between what are going to be buttresses. And over there, where there's a lot more distance between the land and the bottom of the wall there, they're going to get a lot thicker than that. But we'll deal with that as it comes. Now with the in-between brick bits in place, we're going to get our polished blocks jutting out like the buttresses they were born to be. And this too is going to be a fairly simple repeating pattern. I'll chisel it in once I've got this. So basing off of these shorter inner blocks, we're going to go 1, 2, a 3. And then on the 4th one, we come out, and we're going to have another of these wedge shapes right here. Then come down again of 1, 2, 3, and a wedge. And we're just going to fill in the in-between visible bits right there. And then for however far down they go, they're just going to keep repeating this pattern, getting further and further from the walls the farther down they go. And one thing I'm just noticing now, these are jutting out at the same angle you'd want to lay a ladder against a wall. Technically that's 1 foot out for every 4 feet of working height, but we're working with meters and we're still doing a 4-to-1 ratio. So we've got safe slopage. That applies to buttresses, right? Safe angle for a ladder is a safe angle for a buttress? I don't know, I'm not an architect. I just play one on TV. So this bush is going to have to go. And then for any that are on just the edge of the ground, we're going to want to replace the dirt so it just looks a little bit more secure as if it's going deeper underground. Which of course it isn't, but only we're going to know that. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. And especially don't tell anyone what I'm going to do right now, which is, let's say, from the angled bits that I'll chisel those in a moment. From those angled bits, we're going to come down 2 blocks. Yeah. And just have a central column here. Yeah. And this one will also be an angled bit, just so it looks like it's nestled in and securing the corner just a little bit more, so we don't have a deep kind of V. So let's get up top there and copy some of these shapes over, shall we? Copy. And paste the old shapes here. There we go. And this one in the corner here, we're just going to use merge shapes, which used to be called add shape. Copy that. Paste that. And now that's difficult to see, so I'll hop up on a ladder here. Now it's a corner piece. Yeah. And we're going to put these little column bottom bits that just have the bottom row of voxels filled in just above any of our wedge pieces. It's going to break things up from too many continuous lines. And then we'll take our in-between one and apply that to everything else. And that is the beginning of what our supports are going to look like. But of course there's going to be slight variation on the design depending on if we're doing a tower or a wall. Towers are bigger and heavier and need a few more supports, whereas the walls might have slightly fewer buttresses. And while we're at this, of course, don't forget... Oh. Uh-oh. Sword? Get out of here. You get out of my home. As I was saying, to fix any potential lighting issues, we're going to want to make sure we rotate everything ever so slightly. And we're already losing what little daylight we had once again. So I'll do this side, and let's hope that these spring storms come to an end before we work on some of the wall decor. Please, rain. I wish for dryness. A big thank you to this video sponsor, Lagless. Want to play Vintage Story on a server with your friends? Lagless offers full mod support server hosting for games like Vintage Story, Minecraft, and more, starting at just $8 a month. Use my affiliate link in the description below to help support the channel, and right now you can use code SUMMER30 to save 30% off your first month subscription. And now, back to the video. Alright, well with the sun shining, let's get to work on one of these walls. So if you look behind me, you might remember that a long time ago in a galaxy, in this galaxy, I used as a beginning example for what the wall segments are going to look like. So let's actually finish decorating it now. It's only been, what, a year? 2? It's a long-scale project. So we've got our basic shape in place. Right along the wood, we're going to put a full layer of our polished blocks. I suppose this tower's gonna have polish going all the way down, so we'll deal with that in a moment. Don't get distracted. We're just gonna want to chisel all of these. And there's 2 types that we're going to be using here. And of course they're not facing the right way, but that is okay. Just gonna rotate these guys in place. These are the same ones we used on the gatehouse that we can't see because there's a wall in the way. And on these other ones, we're gonna want, where is our upside down? On these, we're going to have the wedges. Speaking of wedges, sandwich, my favorite lunch. I was hungry for hands. Oh, that kills people. And we're just going to mirror these upside down and then rotate them into place. I put these 1 block too high. The wedges actually go there. These ones are just these ones. There we go. Perfect. And these 2 here are going to be castle wall column closed. Now this one is very similar to these, except the bottom and the top voxels are closed in, kind of for a 1 block high area. Rotate those, fix the lighting as we go. And in these corners here, we're actually going to have a little bit of an arch. Kinda like so. Now let's head up a little bit higher here. We're gonna get up to the top of the wall here. Now from here we're gonna have 2 more of these. These ones are actually top columns. They're closed off just at the top. And just like at the tops of our towers, which we can see right over there, we're putting the exact same battlements. To Means I'll probably have to grab all my little pyramid toppers. Storing them in the workshop for quite a while. Ooh, risky business. It's on the ankles. It won't be the first or the last time. This castle will take my life at some point. Let's just flip these around so they're facing the right way. Ooh. Ooh, ah. Oh, save me, meat stew. Save me from my inevitable end. Grab my little pyramid toppers wherever they are. Where did I put them? There they are. Just grab 3 for this example. I should really make bandages. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. There's a wall portion. I'm not in pain, you're in pain. I think I'm gonna patch myself up a little bit and then we're gonna finish off this wall piece. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta put mushed up plant matter on yourself and you'll feel right as rain. Not just any plant matter though. You know, it's gotta be special plant matter. Healing herb, if you will. Okay. So, much like the other walls here, we're gonna have our bricks. They're gonna take up all 3 of the middle sections of the wall. These walls are going to come all the way down, and it's going to follow the same pattern as these. So 1 block above where our brick starts, we'll have our wedge. Now let's see if I can trust myself on a ladder anymore. And we'll be using the same pattern that we were using there. We've got wedge, 1, 2, 3. Wedge, 1, 2, 3. We'll just fill that in. Now this wall here is going to have the same idea, so those are probably going to honestly share this corner piece. So from here, this part is not going to need any of this central column from below that block, I think. Because from here we're going to come down, and then that block there. Oh, it's even sooner than I thought. Well, these corners are going to save on a bit of material. Perfect. Yeah, so those corners are just going to come to a bit of a point. Can't be too mad at that. That's pretty good. Ah, right. The central block there is... It's calm and daytime. Please cease your activities. Under here, a part of me wants to keep it smooth, but it just won't fit with everything else having this little divot carved into it. I don't remember if any of those are saved to the portfolio, so I'm just going to grab the one that I know I chiseled in our portcullis area. Yeah, that one. The closed ends block is actually the one. Okay. It's almost as if I pre-planned and accounted for all of this months ago. There we go. And with this top layer of bricks, the only reason why I'm keeping this little half bit there is just to break up the straight lines with all of the intersections between these polished blocks. Gives it just a slight bit more irregularity. Well, it's done. You just can't see it. So I may as well work on these 2 portions here until daybreak. Good morning, welcome to breakfast. I'm just still working on these walls here because, oh boy, they take a bit. But here behind me we see the first completed wall section. The grass is starting to grow back in down at the bottom there, that's good. So we've got the bricks down there slowly jutting out from the wall just to flare out the base a little bit. Our buttresses supporting the wall all the way up to our battlements. And then here specifically for the gatehouse we have this 1 block section here that's just going to jut out just 1 block further than everything else. But apart from that, all the walls are just going to be repeating patterns of exactly what you see behind me. Every single wall segment. I'm not a masochist. Much. But I think since this is going to take so very long, we best do this in the form of a time lapse. Because it's already taken, what, 2, 3 days to get this far? Just doing what we've got here as well as the front tower? That's a lot of time, but not a lot of wall. So let's once again commence the time lapse. Okay, maybe we take a small break from building walls, because we're out of food. We've got a lot of rock, though. But the underside of that castle is dangerous. Super dangerous. I've died like 6 times. Wait a minute. Is that the subtle squeal of baby pigs I hear? Let's go take a look. We are also going to have to make some more food pretty quick here. Why is there a baby pig outside? Why are there more pigs outside? You go inside. Oh boy, okay, these baby pigs can live outside? Oh, it's dangerous out here. Oh, my gambeson is broken. Okay, I think we've reached peak capacity on the pigs because they keep phasing out through the walls. So once it's a little bit safer outside, we're gonna deal with that, but until then, let's check on some of those pickled foods and see if they're ready to be cooked. Pickles? Pickled meat is done. Or cured meat, rather. Pretty much everything is ready to go. Let's clear out these rocks and get to seeing just how long these meals are gonna last. The world is such a dangerous place. Alright, Pickles, you're coming with me. Let's put the parsnips away. Good for a year, and that's in the spring. Okay, not too bad for these almost having been bad. So while we wait for these to cook, let's go over our plans for how we're going to proceed with the castle. So I think the wisest move is going to be to make a whole bunch more ashlar blocks and at least get a good portion of that underground part of the castle all bricked up. Because once the monsters can't get to us, we can actually build safely. Because even when it's calm, it's dark under there. And the bad things come out when it's dark. They come out and they hurt me. They hurt me real bad. I was warned about this eventuality quite a while back. Did I listen? Absolutely not. Why would I listen? I gotta make my own mistakes. And a mistake I made. Ooh, food's ready. Pop these downstairs and just keep on making more. So once I've made as many batches of food as I possibly can, we'll head on over to the warehouse, make ourselves another wedge chisel to make a bunch more bricks, and we'll get some walls slapped together. I might need to make more mortar as well. We'll deal with that at the same time. See you in a moment. Okay, so with these, they're good for 15 days, so I think I'm not going to make any more of that. I've got 1 crock here I've already cracked into, and 8 more in reserve. But all of the individual ingredients are going to last over a year, and that's in, warmer weather. But I think it might be worth it to just keep them in storage for the time being and cook them as we need them. Plus, we should have a fresh batch of crops coming in any day now, really. Before we go to the workshop, let's take a look at our pig situation here, because we've got a few of them that have broken free. That might mean it's time to quell the herd. Especially if we're dealing with overpopulation. Alright. There's a lot of them down there. Go on, little piggies. Fall down the holes. How many do we have down here? Oh, that's a lot. Oh, they're gonna need a lot more room. Okay. Alright, pigs, it's time to do what I should have done a while ago, huh? Avert your eyes. This ain't gonna be pretty, but it will eventually be delicious. Hey, that was a lot. That was a lot of meat. Nearly a stack of fat, too. We are definitely going to have to deal with these real quick, because they're only good for a few days. Okay, so since we were going to head over to the workshop anyway to make ourselves another wedge chisel, let's grind up a bunch of salt while we're there, too, just so we can preserve all that meat. Because that's far more than we're going to be able to eat before it all goes bad. While we're here, let's finish up these batches of steel. Now this one's 97% complete, so I'm just going to put a little bit. There we go. Now 6 and 6, that might be a little more than what we need for the last 3%, but better safe than sorry. And I may even still be underestimating it. Excellent, and that batch of steel is just about done, so we should Yeah, 99. That's going to finish real soon here. So we're going to make a lot of good progress today. This is a good thing. This is a good day. Speaking of progress, while I'm here, how are these huge hides doing? Perfect. Still going to need just a little bit more huge scraped hide before we have enough to make all of the backpacks. But I think 1 or 2 more bears and we should be good to go. Let's just get as much of this meat all sealed up and salting as we can. Did I hear a pig? It's a dead piglet. Poor guy. Piglet! You gotta go home, little buddy. Let's get you inside. Up you go, get. The rest of them little piglets, I know a couple of them went out here. Baby pigs. Piglets! Did you know how dangerous phasing through walls is? It's how Mr. and Mrs. Cluck met an untimely end at the hands of wolves. You don't want that, do you? Be a sad day. Yeah. Be scary. You get back on in your pen, you precious morsel. There you go. Oh, boy, that's a lot of pigs. Okay. I think the most pressing matter before they grow up is definitely to expand this so they have room. Otherwise, they're gonna literally burst out through the walls. So, Dog? Dog the Moose? Who'd you get up there? Dog the Moose? Oh, Dog the Moose is here. Dog the Moose, we're gonna have to deal with you. Oh boy. Alright, go on, be free. Alright. We have a bit more room to roam around now. That may not be an immediate fix, but at least it'll keep them from bursting out of the walls, hopefully. Hopefully they'll have enough room to roam around. So, let's pop that one down there. Pop the finishing chisel up there. Since we've got a few minutes before the temporal storm hits, let's collect a whole bunch of bricks, and then we'll sleep through the storm and go from there. Math is correct, that should be 231 mortar that we're gonna need. So just a full-on barrel of it, and then we'll have a little bit of change left over. Are we gonna have time before the storm hits? Probably not, but let's try. And let's grab our lantern too, we don't want to forget that. You're coming with me. We're getting soft tacos later. Baking temperature is 825, which means I think we're gonna have to use coal. Peat will work, but coal will work better. We're starting to run a little low on coal and charcoal, so that's gonna be another charcoal firing pretty soon. We used a lot of it for the steel. Oh, we've still got a good bit. We're doing okay. Let's bring that stack with us. And the steel's done. We'll get to that pretty quick here. Oh boy, we're getting a lot done today. And the King Crimson maples have grown. We can harvest the leaves and watch a shiver lose his mind. And the larch trees have grown. All the trees are good to go. The flax is almost there. Do a quick check over a lot of these just before we go inside. Onions are ready. Ready well across the board. Soybeans are still growing. Flax is still growing. And cabbages are good. Okay. It looks like we might have to harvest a few different things here while we've got our quicklime cooking. Actually, I don't know exactly how much fuel it's going to take for each of those stacks, so we're going to sleep. We're going to sleep through the storm first, and then cook our quicklime. There we go. A fresh morning. Free from the eldritch horrors of the world. while those begin to cook, we've got at least a few minutes where we can harvest our plants. Don't worry, I'll make a gate one day. We'll just get a few of these onions sealed up in any of the barrels that still have a little bit of brine left in them. Ah, pickled carrots I forgot about. Nitrogen's looking good there. Let's get more cabbages replanted. Flax is still growing, soybeans still growing. Rye and... yeah, rye is still growing as well. Okay. That's about everything that's ready to go. Okay, we're gonna want to do something about this rot. And since at the... Piglet. Alright. Well, since at the moment we have a good bit of rot and a bunch of empty barrels over on at the leather working area, we're just gonna pop them in there. Start making a bit more compost. Piglet, Piglet, Piglet. No, no, no. Go. Go home. There we go. You! Alright, piglets. Over yonder. Let's double check. There's no holes they can get out of, right? They can't get up there? No. Okay. Every time I'm about to go do something else, I just find more and more pigs who escaped through wall phasing. Okay. Okay, unless we run into any more loose piglets running around, I think we're good to go throw this rot in a barrel. Those are wild chickens. Okay. We'll have to work on domesticating those chickens too at some point. Okay, so these are entirely empty barrels. So, rot, seal. Rot, seal. Rot, seal. Rot, kiss from a rose. And this is not quite a full stack of rot, so it's not going to work, but we've got 5 going right now. Excellent. The steel. We've got some steel. That means we can make the pounder caps. Let's heat up the steel, make a couple of pounder caps, get the chromite pounding, finally. And then once that's all ready, we are going to make mortar and get right back onto those castle walls. Want to try and get a little bit more of those done before the end of the episode. Is that all the chromite in there? There's all the chromite in there. Let's just see. Crushed chromite. Oh, happy day. This is beautiful. I'm just going to let this go. And I'm going to sit here because things will probably despawn going through the chute if I walk too far away. So I'll see you all when the crushing is done. Then I'll go grab the lime, make the mortar, put it in the coconut, and shake it all up. Yeah. Not too bad of a haul for the chromite. Okay. We'll mix that in a minute, but right now, mortar is going to be the priority. And I could have just left that to passively do its thing, but if you get a little too far away and it unloads that chunk, those chutes and hoppers and such are notorious for having items just disappear. So it's always good to keep them loaded if you have any sort of items flowing through any sort of pipeline like that. Excellent. We've got ourselves a whole bunch of quicklime. Let's just use... that's an empty barrel. We can use that. Where's our bucket? There's our bucket. $64 liters of slaked lime right there. Okay, now we just need a stack of sand. Are you... you are also from... oh, you know what? You're wild pigs now. That's fine. Escaping the farm and going out to live in the wild. They grow up so fast. A stack of sand, nice and quick. Okay, Barrel, I've brought the sand you require. But, oh my, more mortar than I thought. For some reason, I've only ever made batches of 256 at the most. 512? What am I gonna do with it all? Although, to be fair, with the amount of bricks that I'm gonna need between this, the customs house, that 512 is not gonna last all that long. I mean, in all honesty, we're gonna go through about half of it right now. Okay, I'm all bricked up. Let's get a few more wall segments all in place. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. A wooing is a $350 fine, but I make no apologies for art. Okay, so rift activity is high. We're out of bricks. I think now is probably a good a time as any to, well, first kind of secure our leatherworking area and maybe get some of that chrome tanned leather going. I would say we should collect honey, but it's dangerous outside. Everything we need is outside. We're gonna have to sort that out, huh? Let's make a mad dash for the farmhouse. See if we have any extra materials for windows or doors. Just anything really to secure that leatherworking area. As well as, I suppose, grab the hides themselves. We might need those. We do have a bunch of these birch window panes from back when we were working on the farmhouse, so we could use those. There's a crude door. This will just be a little bit of a temporary defensive reinforcement. Pop these in before we get overwhelmed. That should be fine. There we go. Maybe just a couple there. Why not? Pop the lantern there so nothing spawns on the walls. Okay, now that we have a spot to fall back to, let's grab the crushed chromium and get to making leather. Hope that crude door doesn't break when we go back in. Chromium? And I did have somebody comment that I shouldn't be breaking the chromite into small nuggets here, because with each of these there's a 0.3, so a 1 in 3 chance to get a piece of crushed chromite when they're broken, and that it's better to use the chunks here. But looking at the amounts that you get, you're guaranteed to get 1 crushed chromite from a poor chunk, which is 15 units, so 3 nuggets. You have a 1 in 3 chance with each nugget, and a guaranteed 1 in 3, so this is kind of more just gambling, but the odds are still the same. Same idea here, 1.3 for 20 units, 1.7 with 25, that's getting to about a 0.1 difference. 2.3 from 35, so it's all very similar. So the odds actually break down to being pretty well identical, honestly. But I do appreciate you looking out for efficiency. Pulverizing the big chunks is just your guaranteed way, or mostly guaranteed way of getting yourself a consistent amount, but crushing the little nuggets is gambling. Numbers go brr. Oh, right, I need... I see. Okay, I've made some goofs. Everything's going a bit weird. Now how... There we go. 6 liters of sulfuric acid. Beautiful. So just in some of the pots over here, we're going to amalgamate this all over into 3 of them. Just because it makes it easier and we can use a little less fuel. Instead of 6 pots with 3 portions, we'll have 3 pots with 6 portions. So we're going to open that one, and that one. And then for all of these, we're just going to have, you know, our 2 portions to 2 portions. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio here. We're doing that for all 3. I didn't bring a torch. Okay. So, There we go. Now let's grab ourselves a torch. And I weirdly haven't seen anything spawning even though it's high. The rift activity lied to me. A torch. Coming with me. Go, let's light these up. Get ourselves some chromium sulfate. With how quickly that's going, we might not need all of that fuel. What we will need, however, while that's cooking, is wax. Lots and lots of beeswax. Yeah, normally it's none of my beeswax, but this is exactly my beeswax, and I gotta go get my beeswax. Piglet! Get back in there. What did I tell you about going outside, Piglet? Silly pig. Anyway, beeswax. Right. Ooh, a lot of that flax is getting close. Ooh, there's the first piece done. What am I doing? Bees. Staring at bricks so long I've gone crazy. Bees. Oh, it's a lot of angry bees. Let those bees be angry. Let's go extract the honey. Get ourselves a bit of wax. Now we just squeeze it all in there. Get the good juice out. With those healing antimicrobial properties. The magic of bees. What's that, Larry? You like watching me squeeze the honey beside you? You're a sick man. Combination with what we already had, that's 42 beeswax. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Our chromium sulfate is bound to be done and ready to go here. Let's cook ourselves up some of this sturdy leather. So 3 liters and 1 scraped hide. So we got 6 liters in there, so we should be able to put 2? 1, 2, 3. Ah! You don't need to have water in your bucket. So if we take the chromium sulfate out of the other ones and put it all in a single pot. Beautiful. Perfect. And so 6, 6, 6. Oh no. And another 6. Oh, okay, we're fine. We got 6 chromium tanned hides. Once we've got our chromium tanned hide, we just have to cook it up with 3 wax, and we'll get 6 sturdy leather from each. Oh boy, there we go. Pop that there, and let's pop our honey in there. Oh, right. 3 times 6 is not 36, it's 18. We still have 24 beeswax. We are perfectly fine. Let's add maybe another peat there just in case. Honestly, after all of the prep work got done, this end bit of the process is honestly pretty simple. It's just cooking, except we don't get food at the end. But we do get the satisfying pot rattle. Beautiful. I'm really surprised, though, that the rift activity is high and there's nothing out there. Maybe I should take advantage of that. Oh, because it's daytime. And also under the castle is probably using up the entire spawn cap, because that is just a dangerous, dangerous land. There it is. Our sturdy leather. Thank you, pots. You might be crusty and dirty now, but you've done a good job. What? I'm hungry. It's a good a reason as any to head back to the house. We have to clear out the inventory anyway, so we can start putting together those backpacks. Well, 3 out of the 4 at the very least. Let's start putting a few things away here. You know, honestly, I could just throw those there. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. We're so close to having full, sturdy backpacks. Let's take this chest off our backs here. And open up the old vanity, have our backpack showing. Now, if we were to take that off, look at that. You know what? I do enjoy how that backpack looks. There's just one thing I'm noticing with this backpack. It's that it's taken on a green tone for one of those straps. I wonder. Oh, this gambeson is in shambles. We're just gonna keep those rags invisible. Don't tell anyone about that. That's terrible. But yeah, since we are going to have that backpack there and they're gonna clip into each other, we're just gonna keep those invisible for the time being. But I'm definitely tempted once we get our 4th backpack to maybe, just maybe, have the backpack visible on our backs because I do like that paler brown. Very nice color. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, let's grab this stuff. Put it all back in the old inventory. What about all this? Lord, I'm not seeing anything outside. Let's cut more wedges. We've got more mortar. Might as well get more bricks. Okay. There's more bricks there. We're out of all that mortar. It went quick. So let's pop that there. And let's just get polished rock out of the rest of the conglomerate that we have, because it's really not a lot. 13 pieces. Lantern, come with me, Lantern. We're going to check the coastline, and then we'll deal with these trees. I see. Whoa. I see. I believe this is all limestone left. I came here and I took all the conglomerate out of it already, didn't I? Yes, I did indeed. Alright. Well. Just pop those 13 in there. And now for these trees. So we've got our crimson maple branches here, this nice, rich red wine color. And over here we've got our larch with a very nice kind of wrinkly trunk. Okay, that sounds weird when I say it like that, but it didn't sound that weird in my head, okay? But you might be asking, what's the plan with specifically these two types of trees? Well, all will be revealed quite soon. And by soon, I mean in the next episode. Let's get out of the rain. Ah, that's a little better. Dry, cozy, the sound of the rain pitter-pattering outside. Classic way to start the year. And I gotta say, it's been a fairly productive start, too. We got a whole lot of work done actually making the castle start to touch grass. It's touching grass more than I am these days. It's great. I'd wager 2 or 3 more big building stints and we should have the rest of that wall touching the ground. Who knows how long it'll take to chisel all of that as well, but we'll get to that as we go. Rather than continuing on to the rest of the regular walls, that material that we gathered, I think I'm going to use that for the little round tower jut out that we've got. Not the big one on the western side. Talking the one with a bridge on the south side of the castle. That one right there. And what do the larch trees and the crimson maple trees have to do with that little island right there? Well, you ever seen Game of Thrones? The wolves have. That's what they tell me. I won't say any more, but I'll let you speculate. But for the moment, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this opening to our 4th year in Eisenholm. And a super special shout out to all of our channel members. You're all the greatest. Thank you so much. Hello to all the new faces. Your support absolutely means the world to me. Thank you so much. So I'll see you next time when we treat ourselves. Do a little bit of building. Well, we've been doing building, but we're going to do some arbory. A custom tree, perhaps. Maybe 2 custom trees. There is that oak tree that I said I was going to customize, and all I've really done is slap some logs on it. You know what? Tree episode next time. Yeah. Alright, I'll see you then. I love you. Bye-bye. Wear a rain jacket. Yo, dog, I heard you like trees, so we put a tree in your tree so you can tree while you tree. I don't think that joke worked very well. Do you? Yeah, you're probably right. I shouldn't quit my day job.